Alright, so dark landscape. This is kind of just going to be a tutorial on how you could test your Prius for the weak EV state using Torque and the Reatime Chart add-on. So you'll go and you'll download the Reatime Chart app here. You'll start up Torque first. Make sure you're connected to the right OBD connector and all that, but like you probably are because it's your own vehicle that you use. So just make sure you're connected to the right OBD connector as usual. And then go fire up Reatime Charts. And what I'm going to do is there is a share function here. There's a share function for like sharing and importing chart files. So if you click the 3 sandwich icon over here, you can either share a chart setup, import a chart configuration, or import a trip file. So what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to access these chart configurations that I have here, Gen 3 Prius EV state chart and Gen 2 Prius EV state chart, and measure data with them. You'll have like all these parameters and everything. Have all these parameters and stuff, and you'll be able to measure the data just like I do. So what I did is I uploaded these files to OneDrive, these trip files and these chart files. So you're going to want to download the Gen 3 Prius EV state chart. I've already customized them and everything. You have everything you already need. All the sensors and the charts are set up exactly as you need them, but there are a couple steps you're going to need to do first before you import these charts. First, you'll have to add the custom PIDs that I made for them. So you've already added them. I saw them on your screenshot you sent me. You had some of the Prius ones, but I made my own ones just for this chart. So you'll go to manage extra PIDs. This is where you'll want to start at. You can see I have like EV State Gen 2 up here, EV State Gen 3 down here, special PIDs that were programmed for the charts. So this is what we'll be doing here. We'll be importing custom PIDs, and then we'll be importing some charts in the Reatime Charts app. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some OneDrive files with you that I made. I'm going to share the folder, this folder here, EV State. I can't read it because, of course, the text isn't on the screen, but the file is going to be named EV State Charts and Trips files. So I'll have this folder shared with you here. And the first thing you're going to want to do is click the EV State PIDs here and download them with the download button up here. So download the EV State PIDs, then go into Torque again, click the 3 dots and do import CSV file. And you'll just have to find out where your downloads are. It'll probably be right at the top of your download list. You can just do most recent, hopefully. Maybe sort by most recent, modified, newest. Okay, there we go. So I sorted it by most recent, and that's what you'll want to import. So you just click on that, and I'm just going to overwrite them. So we're just importing these PIDs here, and then you'll have all these PIDs that you see here. They'll be right at the top because the E is higher up in the alphabet than any of the other imported PIDs for the Prius. So you'll have all of them right at the top there. And then after you import them, you'll be able to import your Reatime Charts data files. So you'll do that step first, and then you'll go to, you don't need to do the trip data files here. That's just already data I've recorded that you can look at, which I'll show, but what you'll need specifically is the Gen 3 Prius EV state chart here. So you'll click on that and download it. You'll download it to wherever you download your downloads. So we'll just download mine here. Download to quick share. So I downloaded the chart. And now I'm going to go back into Reatime Charts And I click the three dots on the side. The app's a little off on the pixel placement, so you kind of gotta really get on the right side there. And then we'll do, what you want to do is import chart config. So import chart config, and then we'll go to where I downloaded it, which was, we'll just see recent here actually. Here it is, right here. Gen 3 EV state chart. Click on that. It says imported. And then you can go under the like load tab and edit tab. It has the imported on it, so you'll know that's the one I brought in. So if we click play here, Gen 3 Prius EV state chart, as long as you're in your Prius and it's all hooked up to Torque, you can click on that, and then it'll start measuring data for you. But I don't have a Gen 3 Prius, so it doesn't show any data. But what it will look like, it'll start to look like some data I've already recorded here. So like, it'll look like this. This is some data I've recorded. It'll start recording all these different parameters and whatnot. And so that's how you can kind of test if your Prius is in the weak EV state. I'm not sure if this is going to work because I haven't had a Gen 3 Prius to test. So I'll need you to test the chart to see if the parameters I coded in specifically for this one here I'm really worried about. I don't know if this one's going to work. This EV state, this virtual PID. I don't know if any of these are going to work, honestly. They could be wrong, or they might not read the right data, because sometimes, like in these imported PIDs, there's glitches. But I spent a long time trying to make sure they have the right ones and importing them correctly and editing them correctly. But one difference for the Gen 3 compared to the Gen 2, the only thing is for the Gen 3, there is no friction brake pad torque parameter. I couldn't find that, so you won't get to measure the friction brakes working, but you will get to measure the regenerative brakes working. So that's down here, regenerative brake torque. There was no friction brake torque for Gen 3, so yeah, go ahead and give it a shot and let me know how it goes. If you could screen record the data it's recording. You could also go into Torque and just make charts with the PIDs, or not charts, like dials and whatnot. So, or displays, dials and displays. So you could, if you wanted to like test it, you could do a digital display, and then you could find like the EV state Gen 2, EV state Gen 3 parameters. Okay, I'm surprised that that's reading one. Oh, because that's the virtual one. So yeah, we'll see how this all works. It might actually even be most beneficial to just go under this sensor here and kind of like scroll down through the EV state Gen 3 so I can see if they're recording data while you're like just driving around or sitting in like park and just like pushing the brake and pushing the gas pedal and like doing stuff, messing it with that way. So but yeah, I'd really appreciate your help, and this could give you a good tool to record data on your Prius. All right, thanks a lot, Dark Landscape.